It's now time for a question period. The member from Nepean Carleton.
My question is to the Premier. Over the past 2 weeks, I've asked 8 questions in this House. I've written you a letter asking you to simply verify the cost of the OSSTF deal. I've yet to receive any details other than you do acknowledge you've moved money around and that you say that there are no new costs. So can you precisely give me today how much of the so-called savings will be used to pay for the OSSTF deal?
How much? Thank you, Premier.
Minister of Education.
Minister of Education.
Yes, thank you, and I'm delighted to report that we were able to reach an agreement with OSSTF. It's been ratified by 96% of their local presidents. It's currently in the process of being ratified or at least voted on by individual members, and we very much respect that process of working confidentially with our members, or at least our union members. We're now in discussions with the Elementary Teachers Federation and are hoping that we will have similar results in terms of being able to conclude an agreement with them.
Answer.
But what I can assure you is that there has been no additional money put on the table.
Speaker, I think I was pretty clear in English, so I'll say it in French. Combien? So we've asked
how much
for the details on how much of their so-called savings will go toward this OSSTF deal, not to mention where it goes across the province. So I'll ask you one more time, and I'll be even a little bit more specific. How much of the savings that you're talking about are going to go to the extended mat leave?
Minister.
What we
against mat leave?
Apparently they're against
Oh.
mat leave and also sorting out sick leave details. But what I can report to you is that the savings that were reported in January were $1.8 billion. That is made up of about $250 million in the fiscal year that just ended a few weeks ago. It's made up of over $500 million in savings for the fiscal year that we are just beginning in April the 1st. It includes $1.1 billion in long-term liability savings related to ending retirement gratuities and also the sick leave banking. And that adds up to a total of $1.8 billion.
Final supplementary.
Chronic problem with truth-telling on the other side, Speaker.
The member will withdraw.
Speaker, we're going into a budget in hopefully less than a month. They've broken that promise, of course, to have it done by April 1st. But they refuse to tell the Chamber and the public how much of their so-called savings are going to go to the OSSTF deal and how much of those projected savings or so-called cost-saving measures are going to go toward one of the components in terms of mat leave. So you can't continue to stand in this House with any credibility when all you want to get out of a deal with the OSSTF are some brand new friends. The public is asking where this money is coming from. If you have $1.8 billion in savings, then why didn't it go toward servicing the debt and the deficit? If you have $1.8 billion in savings, why doesn't it go to students in the classroom? I don't believe for 1 minute you have $1.8 billion in savings, and I want to know how much this...
Thank you. Minister.
I can say is we had $1.8 billion in savings in January and we've got $1.8 billion in savings in April. What part of that is unclear? And what I can also tell you is $1.1 billion of those savings went to pay down the deficit, which I think is what she's asking for. But do you know what else we have? We have peace and stability returning to our classrooms. We have extracurricular activities, Speaker, returning to our schools. I understand it is snowing out there today, but were it not for the snow, we have soccer returning, soccer practices returning. We have all sorts of great activities taking place in our schools that we did not have a couple of months ago, and that's the difference is the student.